Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Gamer Social Club Weekly News Podcast. We are recording on Thursday, the 15th of January, 2026. And we are going to be talking this week about where the hell is Highguard? Ecco the Dolphin is back, and what could possibly be, what we assume to be, a secret fourth game at the Xbox Developer Direct. But before we get into all that, of course, I am your host, as always, Harry Glynn Jones, aka Knavish Crayfish. And with me today, I've got two of my regular team with me, which is great to have back in this new year. And to kick it all off, of course, I have only daggers, no empathy. I've screwed it up already in the
Yeah.
first
It's
one.
okay. It's been a while.
It has been a very long time since I've had to say those words. It's true. No, it's no empathy, only daggers. It's Lady V. How are you being?
I'm very well, thank you. It's exciting to be back on the news pod after a lovely Christmas break. So I'm excited
Yes,
to chat some news.
exactly. It has been a while. Yeah, a bit rusty, but we'll have a lot of fun anyway. And yeah, to fill out the team, we've got with us our very own Steam Deck verified Mark, aka We Awoke in the Hive. How you doing, my friend?
I'm really good, thanks, Harry. It's been feels like forever since we've done one of these, probably even longer since
Yeah.
I've been on as well. So played a lot of games over Christmas periods, and back to work now, but still plodding along with a few things. But yeah, lots to catch up on. Look forward to chatting games with you guys once again.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's been a long time. As we said, lots of fun gaming over the Christmas holidays for all of us here. Maybe diving into a bit of backlog stuff. I know I have been. But yeah, back into the swing of things here at the Gamer Social Club completely now with the news pod back. And of course, yeah, if you're new to all of this, let me run into the rigmarole as we normally do, which is that we are just a few members of the Gamer Social Club, which is a website covering video games news, reviews, previews, interviews, editorials, guides, anything else we can think of, we could put up on our site, which you can find over at www.gamersocialclub.ca. Alongside that, you should know the three main pillars about us as a team and as a site. We are a grassroots independent site, so we have no higher ups. It is us doing it through our own passion and love for video games. I wanted to share all that with you. Number two, we finish every game that we review, or at least roll credits. And if we can't roll credits on a game because it's a racing game or it's a sports title or just a game that has no end for whatever reason, then we will play it as much as we can before we give you our thoughts, impressions, and our score. And of course, finally, we are a rumor-free filter news source. We put a filter over all of our news so that you're getting any of the rumor mill stuff from social media or Reddit or anything like that. We only report on what we believe to be fact. So you can come to us as a credible source, and we always try and keep our stories up to date. And any mistakes we do make, we always try and rectify and let you know that we have done so. Going forward, of course, we also have a Discord you can join, the Gamer Social Club Discord, which is slowly growing. We've actually surpassed, I think it's 125 or so, or maybe even 130 close to. I can't remember what we were at some point. We had a few people join us over the Christmas period. We had a few giveaways, which was really nice. So it's filling up slowly. But it's great to see some new faces mixing in with the usual crowd. And of course, you can then follow all of us individually as well as the site over on your social media. So over on Twitter, the site is at gamer_s_c, and everywhere else, so Threads or Blue Sky, anything like that, it is just Gamer Social Club, all one word. All of this you can find in the description below, alongside any articles that we might have mentioned today. We'll have links to, and also, yeah, if you enjoyed today's video, please leave a like. If you have any feedback for us or any questions you may have, or just want to give just start up a conversation, drop in the comments below. And of course, if you'd like to see more content like this, as well as our sister show, Girl Pod, of which Lady V is a host alongside Bright and Candy, which has already started up. They beat us to the punch.
Yep. No breaks on Girl Pod. We run a tight ship over there.
Absolutely. Love it. It's good. It was great having that happen. It broke the ice for 2026 for all of us, which was brilliant. It was a really good show. So go and check it out, please. But yeah, subscribe if you want to catch up with more content like that, as well as more stuff we have planned. We do have usually other members of the team on the Game and Social Club Weekly News Podcast. Adam is a regular, and you also may know Dara. Dara will be maybe pulling back a little bit from the news podcast because they are actually working on their own little project. They're going to the kitchen to cook up something for us. So we are all waiting, possibly with some of us being involved a little bit for over the year or so. So again, when we know more about that, we'll be able to share that with you. But yeah, for the time being, of course, you'll know the regular crew, and we'll see about slotting in some other people from the team, like Phrase, for example, and some of the other people who you've got maybe to see. But yeah, that's all of the rigmarole out the way. So we'll go into our first section, as always, which is what have we been playing? And I think let's start with Mark. Why not? You're talking about how much you've been playing some stuff over Christmas. Why don't you regale us with a couple of titles?
Yeah, it's been a really good period over Christmas, catching up with a few things, and I was really tempted to get into an RPG over Christmas. That never happened. So I fancy some punishment. So I finally got round at the second or third attempt to Liza P. I know that V, you're a big fan, and Adam, who's not here this week, is a big fan of the game too. And I'm so glad that I got back to it. It was absolutely fantastic. Had such a good time. Rolled credits. Ready for the Overture DLC now, but had an absolute ball. As I was telling you guys offline last night, I was playing this like a bit of an idiot for the first about 3 or 4 hours of the game. So I didn't realize till I was well into the swamp area that it's a parry-based game. Well, no, it was the Romeo boss when I realized that point. So I'd basically been playing on a stupidly self-imposed hard mode for at least the first third of the game. But once I discovered the parrying mechanics, I really did start to love it. I'd clearly been putting myself through hell until that point. So there's some quite rough boss fights. But
the way I would have approached, I'm afraid, because I'm rubbish at parrying, so I'd have just been like, nope, this is it, I'm afraid.
No, the parrying in Lies P is super satisfying though. It's got a nice parry window to it. It's a nice parry window.
Is it a severe Sekiro? Which one? Because I know you enjoyed Sekiro as well, didn't you, Mark?
Yeah, I'd say it's probably maybe a little bit more forgiving than Sekiro from memory, but I could be getting that slightly wrong. However, I somehow, and I think I'm quite rare in this, I found Sekiro to be the easiest of the From games that I've played. And I think that's probably because I was quite good at like the itchy trigger finger for the parrying. Yeah. So once I kind of cracked that, I did start to find Liza P a lot easier. Not saying I had a straightforward time though, because I do generally pretty suck at these games. And you've got these sickos online saying, "Oh man, that boss took me like 15th attempt," and that I'm there on my 30th, just about getting through stage 1 of a boss fight, and then crying at stage 2. But
that sounds very familiar.
I'm really not a pro by any means, but you know, and when a stage 2 of Laxia or Lacasia, I can't remember the exact spelling of the name.
Such a fun boss though. It's
that
so
the terrifying
good.
electric woman?
Yeah, terrifying. I'd let her step on me. Like,
well, I mean, okay, maybe I should have added some other adjectives, but I didn't want to take up too much time.
But yeah, when she went into stage 2, man, I think I nearly just almost threw in the towel there, to be honest. That's such a rough time. But then, but it's that thing of the satisfaction of learning the routine. And by the time I think it was my winning run, actually, I got through phase 1 of the fight without taking a hit. And it's that kind of like practice. And as soon as you get it, it's great. But until that point, man, I just suck at these games. But then I eventually get there. And yeah, love it. I'm definitely going to be picking up Overture. I've put a self-imposed embargo on buying any games until the end of the month because I've spent too much recently on games. So I'll wait till payday at the end of January, then I'll pick up Overture, and that will be going straight to the top of the pile. So yeah, that's been my main. I've played a couple of other short things like Florence. Finished that the other day. That was a really nice 1 hour little experience. Brought a tear to my eye. And probably the second or third game ever to do that, and the first since Life is Strange 2, which was an emotional roller coaster. And I guess Life is Strange is with some news to talk about next week on that, with a new game just to be announced. But yeah, it's just been nice to actually have some proper gaming time, because normally trying to squeeze in a bit of Battlefield around very limited time for single player games. But that's what, Christmas is all about. But yeah, it's been mainly Liza P, and I'm so glad that I went back and gave it another chance, because it's started the year off really well for me. So bring on the DLC and eventual sequel as well.
Yeah. Maybe we'll hear something about that this year. Who knows? It feels like it could be the right sort of time for them to start teasing, maybe at least. We'll see. How about you, V? What did you get up to? What are you playing?
So this is a game I'm reviewing, but it's already out, so I think I'm okay to tell people that I'm playing it for review. But I spent almost exclusively all of my Christmas break playing Octopath Traveler Zero,
Yeah.
because it's like 100 hours long. So I think I've got like 75 hours into it now, so hopefully the review will go out very soon, so people can look forward to that. I'm really enjoying it. I like the Octopath series. I really like the combat in it. But I won't talk too much about it. Obviously, you can wait for a review. But yeah, I played a lot of that, or almost all of that, because I was lucky enough. My mum got me a Xbox ROG Ally X for Christmas.
Very
Um,
nice.
she gave my mum money to do her garden. She gave my sister money to do her garden. So she messaged me just out of the blue at the start of December, and she was like, "Do you want one of these?" It's just like sent like a photo of it. She was like, I think her first question was, "Do you own one of these?" And I was like,
Yeah.
"No," because like I have my Steam Deck. She's like, "Is this not the same?" My mum doesn't know anything about video games.
Is this one of them Nintendos?
Yeah, she is very much like, is this an? Although when I did buy my PS5, I put a photo of it on Instagram, and she was like, I never thought I'd see the day. Is that a PlayStation? I was like, I've owned a PlayStation before. Like my mum console warring in the year of our Lord
Wow.
2023. Like,
On the front
like,
line.
but yeah. So I was like, I don't need one. I have a Steam Deck. I have obviously my PC. I have an Xbox. And she was like, well, I give your sister some money, so you're going to have to take it. And I was like, well, if you insist. So that was quite nice. It was nice to just chill out on the couch and drink a lot of Baileys and play a lot of Octopath Traveler Zero. After that, when I got home from Christmas, I had a very enjoyable run through of the Root Trees Are Dead, which is like a deduction puzzle game where you have to fill out a family tree based on searching for stuff on like a 1996 computer. It has a very fun moment at the start where you connect to the internet and it's like the most nostalgic modem noise you'll ever hear. It was just like, oh my god, like it would be taken all the way back to my childhood. And it's like, oh, this is state of the art search technology. And you're typing things in and it's like, oh no, this is like it's quite self-aware of the fact it's set in the 90s, so every so often you'll put something and it's like, this is 1997, so that's not going to do anything. And it's like,
That doesn't
oh
exist.
no, okay, that's fair, that's fair. But no, it was super fun. I played through. I think I got through like the main story where you do all of the whole family tree in about 6 hours or so. Lots of notepad taking. It does have a good notepad function where you highlight things and it'll automatically populate in your little in-game notepad and have a hyperlink to where you found it, so you can quickly go back to that web page or magazine or book that you found that information in.
Yeah.
But then afterwards, it has a secondary mode, which I don't think was released at the same time as the main game, called Root Tree Mania. So it's like, oh, loads of people have now come out. You're doing the genealogical thing for an inheritance case. You're like a private investigator sort of thing. So you do get a fun board with lots of pins. You got a big pin board and all the connections, which is also great. But yeah, root tree mania is lots of people coming out saying that they're actually secret root trees from infidelity within the family. So you have to go through again, like all the things to try and figure out where all the secret affairs were, and are these people actually entitled to any money from this big like candy company? It's like a company that makes sweets. But yeah, it was super fun if you like puzzle games, especially those types of puzzle games. Like it's not. It sort of scratched the same itch for me as Return of the Obra Dinn. I don't know if either of you guys have played it, but that's like you have a time traveling watch because you're an insurance auditor. That's not. That is why you have it, but that's not what all insurance auditors have. But it means you can go back in time to like see the moment of someone's death, and then you have to figure out who they were on the ship, how they died, and what their profession was on a ship. And I realized I don't know anything about naval history at all. I'm like, what is a boatsman? I have no fucking idea what I'm doing here. But it has a similar mechanic to that it'll only confirm your guesses if you have at least 3 correct on the board at any given time. So you are discouraged from, you can't just brute force your way through bits. It's like you have to be pretty firm, or you're pretty convinced that you're correct on your guesses. But yeah, it was really satisfying. I don't think it's that expensive on Steam. And there was like lots of just fun little tongue-in-cheek moments where the developer like refers to himself, like being like, "Oh, this game developer," and then the developer's name I can't remember, Jeremy, I think. Just heard of the name of this place and thought it was cool. It's got nothing to do with the case though. So yeah, would highly recommend. The Root
That's good
Trees Are
fun.
Dead if you're looking for a little puzzler to start off 2026. And you don't want to get sucked into the hole that is the Blueprints hole that both Candy and Bright have found themselves in after Christmas. This is a little bit more forgiving. You're not going to be like scribbling notes like a mad person, but you might shout out like or eureka moments at the computer as I did while I was playing it. But yeah,
That's
that
what
is
you
what I
want.
have been playing. Yeah.
That's a good puzzle game right there.
Mm.
Yeah, absolutely. An aha moment, definitely. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
good stuff. Well, yeah, I spent my time kind of going through a bit of my backlog, trying to reorganize myself for 2026 and start like making a list of things to track and games coming out. But also then thought, well, why don't I put together a backlog list? And so I ended up playing. What did I start with? I think it was Crow Country, but also PS1 kind of inspired fixed camera horror game. Um, sort of Resident Evil vibes, but like sort of the low poly kind of, if you think back to sort of Final Fantasy VII kind of graphics and things like that. Really, really enjoyed that. Great atmosphere. And then from that, I went on to Lego Horizon Adventures or Horizon Lego Adventures, whatever it's called. Um, that was fine. Colorful, easy. Hoped one of my kids would play with me. They weren't interested, so played it on my own.
A
And
damning
then
indictment of that game. Like it
yeah,
was fine, and my children did not want to play it.
yeah, yeah, it's fine. It really is. It's that sort of game, unfortunately. It could decide if it wanted to be a Horizon game or a Lego game, really. So there we are. Um, and then Pacific Drive, that was fantastic. Had a great time with that, and I think I'm going to go back and pick up the DLC for that. Um, and then I think the last game I played was Atlas Fallen, Reign of Sand, which was actually really fun. I enjoyed that. Great traversal, fun world, lots of verticality in it, and a surprising. Because originally they didn't have him as the voice actor for the lead, but they'd updated it with the Reign of Sand DLC, which is a free update to actually replace the voice actor with Ben Starr. So he turned up unexpectedly, playing a slightly less sad boy character than he normally does, which is nice. Makes a bit of a change. But yeah, and now I'm playing Paper Trail for fun, which I'm really enjoying. Love a game that plays around with space and you being able to like fold it and that sort of thing. Really cool. And then for the site, I've actually been helping cover Big Hops, which is a really fun 3D platformer. We were a little frog called Hop, and you use your tongue to swing on things, and you use like different types of plants as like different sort of tools for like bouncing on mushrooms or apples that you can like stick to on the wall and things like that. Or it's a sort of part collectathon, part just sort of adventure game. Really, really good time with that. Once I got the hang of like the movement mechanics, it's good controls. Just you got to get used to how momentum works in it, and being able to then try and use like the plants whilst you're in midair to slow down time to then throw something down in front of yourself before you hit it and that sort of thing. But yeah, had a lot of fun with that. Been doing some guides, and that's what I've been playing. So I think with that, unless anybody's missed anything, we can move straight into the news. And I think we're going to start off with, where is Highguard? And for those of you who may not know what we're talking about, what is Highguard? Because of course, Highguard is the game that actually closed out Jeff Keighley's Game Awards from last year. It was the big showstopper. Jeff gave a little bit of a sort of rundown beforehand, mentioning that it was from a new studio called Wildlight Entertainment. A lot of veterans from studios that have been working on games like Apex Legends and Titanfall. Those were the big names that were mentioned. And I can't remember the exact wording of everything, but very much played it up to be the sort of like, hey, this is the next big thing, kind of, this is the next Overwatch, or PUBG or Fortnite or whatever big game you want to put in the multiplayer space, it seemed, in particular. And then the trailer landed, and it kind of met what just happened right now. That was a little mini version of what happened with the trailer.
Things were a bit flat.
Very flat, I'm afraid. Yeah, so again, we haven't heard anything. We had all the announcement there, I believe, like actually at the show. There wasn't like a follow-up press release to give up any other information. It was a free-to-play game. It's coming out 26th of January, so about 11 days, less than
from
2
when
weeks.
we're recording.
Yeah, and we've not heard a Scooby snack about it at all in any way, shape, or form. I think they've been sort of radio silent on social media. No updates on the website, no other trailers or anything like that have been added to a YouTube channel. It is literally all that was seen at the Game Awards, and that is it. So everyone's now wondering, of course, where is Highguard? And yeah, I want to put it to you guys. Obviously, what do we think? Do we think this is a play to just sort of try and play out the kind of no one really was excited, let's just sort of get it out quietly and just let it try and build momentum slowly on its own? Or do we think this is them now maybe trying to take some sort of like turn on, like a sort of switch on a dime of like, oh crap, let's maybe try and rework this? Is there any way can we push this back a little bit and then come up with a new kind of trailer or something like that to try and create more buzz? I'm going to go to V first because she's smiling away, so I want to hear what she's thinking.
The claws are about to come out here.
Yeah.
Right, I think first thing, I know that you want to build up, if you're a new studio and you have veterans working for you, you want to build up like people's excitement about the new game because you've worked on these games that people love before. But if you worked on Titanfall, you have to not put it in the front of your trailer. You can't say that because people want Titanfall 3. And if you say that and it's not Titanfall 3, then automatically you are starting from a place of like negative, like goodwill. Like if you're like, oh, from the makers of Titanfall, every single person who played and loved Titanfall 1 and 2 are like, oh my god, maybe it's new Titanfall. And then you're like, here's something that's not got mechs in it at all. It's completely different. Like not even that. Then no one automatically people are going to be like, well, this sucks and I hate it. Like just don't do it. Just say Apex Legends. Just say you worked for. Just don't say you've ever worked on a video game in your life. Like, and you will still have like better reception from the wide majority of an audience, I think, than saying you worked in Titanfall and then not announcing Titanfall 3. Like,
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there's been there's been some speculation here and there, because I think Apex Legends was shadow dropped. I think they were just like, here's Apex Legends. Like there was no big announcement trailer or anything like that. I said,
Yeah.
definitely not. It's something like the Game Awards. Definitely not the one more thing at the Game Awards. They were just like, oh, here it is. So people have sort of been like, oh, maybe they're doing the same. But I don't think you go from one more thing at the Game Awards to then shadow dropping your game with no fanfare. I personally think they had like maybe a suite of like character trailers that they were going to do. So like before Night Rain and things, it's like meet the Duchess, meet the Revenant, here's Wilder, etc. I think they had those, but given the backlash, they have held them back. Probably to your point, I don't know if they're going to delay it. I think they might still release it and just see if it takes off because the gameplay is good. My thing is, the character vignettes, I think, like in my brain, I can see them, and they are all very, like, like Joss Whedon's Marvel. Like
Yeah.
you're probably wondering how I got here, smash cut. Like um because there was a bit of a, like, I never played Concord. I'm not gonna put anything. From some people who played it said that the gameplay was very fun. I did think that the character designs were somewhat lacking. That color palette just did not speak to me at all. Everything looked a bit vommy. I don't know if that's like but just like there was just like an underlying, like, as if the unifying color they had used for the entire palette was just like a really gross green to try and pull everything together. But obviously that was all sort of supposed to be focused in on these characters and the fact they were going to tell like stories week to week. And I feel like they sort of maybe had ones like that set up, and then they saw the reaction, not just from people who were like, I can't believe you've not brought me Titanfall 3, you bastards, but just like the general gaming community of either that looks terrible, we already have, this is Overwatch at home, to just general apathy. I have seen people mention it multiple times or in our Discord on the run up to Christmas, and I'm like, what is that? Have I heard of this? We watched the Game Awards live in the Discord, and I was there. And like multiple times people have mentioned it, and I'm like, I don't know what that is. I've never heard of this before in my life. Like,
That's not a game.
no. So yeah, I think they probably are laying low. I do feel bad for the devs because it's okay to not really be looking forward to a game or even poke a bit of fun at the fact that that's probably the worst received One More Thing you've ever seen. But I also know that people on the internet are and can be vile. If you're not looking forward to it and you don't like it, you don't need to send like just vitriol towards the people that made it. You can criticize, absolutely, but yeah, I'm not surprised that 100% not surprised that they haven't said anything on Twitter. Let's put it that way. But yeah, I think it'll just quietly come out. I don't think we've applied for keys for it because I don't think
know.
anyone has
Yeah.
expressed any interest to review it for us to apply for a key. But I've also not heard of any other outlets like getting keys. I think all of the news I've seen from it is just like, where is this?
Yeah.
Does this game exist? Is it a weird tax write-off? But no, I think it will come out. I feel a bit sorry for the devs, but also in 2026, you're bringing out a like PvE, PvP. You're coming right after like an Arc Raiders with something that looks
PvP raid shooter. That's what it is.
pretty generic.
With horses.
I know. Well, yeah, I know they had the horses and they've got the big tank and stuff, but
Yeah.
that also just seemed like a bit of a, oh, we're throwing everything at the wall to try and make this look unique. It's like, why are there horses? Like, I don't get it. But yeah,
True.
those are my thoughts. They're a bit disjointed, but those are my thoughts. Stop saying that you worked on Titanfall. No one wants to hear it unless it's Titanfall 3. I'm sorry, you can't.
Yeah, that's fair. No, I think I agree with a lot of what you're saying there. Mark, how do you feel about it? Do you feel the same, or do you feel slightly differently?
Yeah, I think it's a real shame that games just get completely poo-pooed before they come out. And that's kind of especially common seemingly in like the shooter space. That's really popular there. And I'm a big shooter gamer. I play most things. I'm yet to get to Ark, but I really want to. And I think something like Ark would definitely trump wanting to try Highguard, unfortunately. I just had a quick look at the trailer, and again, while you guys were chatting away there, and the main website for the game has still got like a big launch, like first page banner with the countdown to launch, and you do wonder what they're going to do here. And it must be a really difficult conundrum, and thankfully one I don't have to make, because you get games that come out and they try and build an audience like you guys were saying, but there are so few comeback stories for games that kind of come out and then do well. And you've kind of got Final Fantasy 14 and maybe a few others, and obviously they're very different genre, but there's not many games that come out and then kind of start to build a base later on. Typically there's an initial peak and then it drops off, particularly in the shooter space. I mean, even Battlefield's down about 3/4 of its launch players already, and that's a whole different caliber of game. But then you've also got the thing of, well, if they do push this back, then its image is so tarnished already. Kind of what chance does it have if it does come back? And I think that's exactly what Bungie are happening with Marathon, because that's been completely poo-pooed from when it was first revealed, and everything people have seen from the more recent playtests on that is basically the same game. They can't change the
Oh, we just lost you there, buddy. No worries. Yeah. Whilst you try to get yourself back, are you back?
Can you hear me? Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
we can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, microphone's going crazy tonight.
I think it's super difficult for games to to turn it around, and I think Highguard is already in one of those kind of positions of having to do that before launch. But if it does launch, then it's trying to turn it around afterwards. I think it is super difficult. I think the game looks, I think it looks fine, but it just doesn't stand out. And I think in the shooter space at the moment, you've really got to, and you look at things, like Call of Duty is probably the second biggest gaming franchise in the world after GTA, and even that's had a really torrid time in the against its competitors for the last for Black Ops 7. So if things like that aren't doing it, then I think games like Highguard have got a really uphill battle. And it's going for that hero shooter thing, and that was that's like a 10-year-old gameplay genre that people are so over now, and there's still people playing Overwatch, but they're probably just going to carry on playing Overwatch. And you kind of look at some of the creative decisions that, I mean, you can only base it on this 2-3 minute trailer here that we've seen. There's very little else to go off, but there are questionable gameplay decisions here. But I think possibly the biggest image thing that it's got is that it was that one extra thing at the Game Awards. Like, it really shouldn't have been that. And the way that Jeff Keighley was billing it up, like, well, for any one extra thing, it's going to be something absolutely jaw-dropping. And then everyone was like, no.
Yeah,
so I think that kind of, I'd hate to think how much they paid for that spot, but I feel like it was the biggest slap in their own face they could possibly give. So you know what, I think could be a good game in here. When we see it, I don't think we'll see it in 10-11 days time, but if we don't, I don't know how they really flip it from here. So uphill battle.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, as you say, being at the closing thing at the Game Awards, as the spotlighting it, kind of put a bit of a target on its back in that respect. And like V said, I think, I would have expected a rollout of character trailers, going over different maps, explaining the specifics of like the traversal stuff, because they opened the trailer with the horses and stuff like that, and then later on they're on foot, and then they've got a tank, and it looks like they're trying to throw a bunch of different ideas at this, but it also feels as if they're another crew of veterans who have set up a new studio, who are making a game that was like the games they were working on 10 years ago, and thus they're not actually looking forward. They're building what was already there, but I don't think they're going more often. They're not going far enough to differentiate themselves. I look at this, and as someone who hasn't played Apex Legends, I look at things like the horses and go like, oh, that's because you can't do like how they do it in Apex Legends, where they like shoot themselves off of like cannons and stuff like that, isn't it? They do like the big like up jumps and stuff like that to like get from place to place. It's like you couldn't do something like that because it would be like Apex Legends. So you gave them horses so they can ride across areas faster to get from point to point, I'm assuming. So yeah, it as you say, it could be a perfectly reasonable, good game. Free to play, like there's no barrier of entry. It's coming out on PC, Xbox Series X and S, and it's coming to PlayStation 5, all on day one. So, enough of a player base to pull from, if it can get the people there. And then I guess it just depends on how it tries to, support itself through monetization. Is it going to be a shop? Is it going to be a battle pass thing? Again, we know literally nothing about any of this, whilst normally for a game by this point, that we would have known this sort of stuff, at least by now, if not months ago. So yeah, it's very strange that, having given themselves such a short time frame, again, no doubt reacting to their reception at the Game Awards, but still absolutely nothing in this whole time. does feel a bit crazy.
Yeah, and just one other thing. I think
Mm,
for shooters, you have to have a marketing beta.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
almost like a real fundamental thing that's been there going back as Modern Warfare, early Black Ops era. That there was people looking forward to the beta, and I'm sure it was really useful for the developers, but it was always a marketing tool.
Mm.
And every Call of Duty still has one. Battlefield had one, and that was a real success. But if they'd have come out on the night of the Game Awards and said, right, there's a 3-day beta starting now, and you can play this from Thursday night till the Monday,
Mm.
and that could have made an audience. Like that's what they need. That's what in my eyes what they should have done here, and and then work towards the January date, or even give themselves a little bit longer, because I don't think the January is a real essential thing. I don't think that's turning around as quick as that. But I
Yeah.
feel like they should have done a beta that night, and that could have given them a bit of a platform that they maybe trod on a rake and missed there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as you had, proof is in the pudding kind of thing, and prove to people that there is something to be excited about here, even if it's a smaller crew. But at least then you have somebody who's going out on your behalf within the community to be like, no, this is worth your time. Like, give it a go. So
I think Apex Legends didn't have a beta because it was shadow dropped and it just
Mm.
worked quite well. So presumably they're trying to do that. But yeah, as you say, Mark, like almost all multiplayer games now do have that beta. It's like people expect it, so that they can, see whether or not they want to play it, but also give their feedback beforehand. So trying to do a brand new IP without one is just crazy.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, moving on from a game which got very lackluster reception to news that no doubt had a lot of millennials quivering in their boots. Echo the Dolphin is back, everyone. Somehow, Echo the Dolphin returned. This is news that has only come about, I think, in the last 24 hours. We wrote it up ourselves. Demandre Latalis Veneta Presley wrote it up for us on our site. Let me give you a bit of the blurb here. There was a press release for it. Here we go. The world needs Echo the Dolphin, it starts. A&R Atelier announced today that Ecco the Dolphin is officially in development. Originally released in 1992, Ecco the Dolphin garnered critical and commercial acclaim at launch. It has been years in the making, and we're honored to bring Ecco back, said Ed Annunziata. Apologies if I butchered that. Chief Creative Officer at A&R Atelier. Ecco has always been more than a game about a dolphin. He's a bridge between worlds. While specific details are still on the wraps, A&R Atelier is pleased to share that, in fact, several new Ecco the Dolphin products and games are currently in development. Information regarding these upcoming projects and partnerships will be announced at eccothedolphin.com as developments unfold. Additionally, AR Atelier has launched the official Ecco the Dolphin Discord server, where fans and newcomers can connect with developers and join the community hub for all things Ecco. So yeah, you can find all about that on our article on the site. They'll be down below in the description. And of course, go check out eccothedolphin.com, everyone. He's back. Get excited, everyone.
I want to know what the other new products are.
Well,
The
that's
Echo,
interesting, isn't it?
are they
Yeah.
making an Echo the Dolphin movie? Like, were they like, okay,
A
we've made a
Netflix
Sonic,
original, maybe?
yeah, we've made 3 really good Sonic movies. What other what other franchise can we look at? I know, Echo the Dolphin. Like,
I
I mean,
think,
it's a super weird game.
oh, it
Like,
is very
it's
weird.
like
Yeah.
very weird. So like theoretically, you could make like a very art house weird movie out of it.
Yeah,
But
notoriously difficult and then incredibly weird games.
yeah, yeah.
um,
But
yeah.
I just
So-
remember playing it as a child and just being very confused the entire time, and it was brutally difficult.
Yeah.
Like even for the time, brutally difficult. I would say like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Very strange to see it. Mark, do you have any? Did you did you experience Echo the Dolphin growing up yourself?
No, and as like a Mega Drive Genesis kid, it was like a
Mm.
very well-known entity, and I was very much Sega until probably kind of getting into my teens, but I never had it, and
Mm.
all I know is how bastard difficult it was. That's kind of
Mm.
all I know. So
Yeah.
I'm probably glad I never had it. But I mean, to be fair, most Mega Drive games were solid because they had to be, because otherwise you complete them in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But
Pretty much, yeah.
I did. Is there a market for this? Like, is there?
I think
I mean, I get obviously there's nostalgia play. I'm sure, but
I think
I don't know.
yeah,
I don't know anything about it.
I think a lot of this just comes down to right now. I think Sega are really feeling themselves. Like they've got the Sonic films going. They've done, as far as then like bringing games back. They've done Streets of Rage 4. They then last year did Shinobi, Art of Vengeance, and of course that was part of like their whole pitch of like, hey, we're doing like a bunch of like, we're bringing back Crazy Taxi, Shinobi, Golden Axe, and Jet Set Radio. You know, those are 4 titles they said a couple of years back, like all together, like, hey, we're going to bring all these back. And, you know, Echo wasn't one of those. So clearly at some point along the lines, between all these other projects, all seemingly doing pretty well for them, alongside, you know, no doubt other things as well. It seems as if they're just kind of like, yeah, we could do it. Yeah, we've done it with these other ones. We could probably do it with Echo as well. Why not? Otherwise, I don't really understand why. Yeah, it doesn't seem like a sort of IP that's like, oh, current, like really relevant to now. Like this is going to hit different.
But Latala said that there was a Dreamcast game which I was not aware of that was actually very good, apparently, or at least
Oh.
decent. What I have just found out is that it was based on, well, like from the mind of someone called John C. Lilly, who did most of his research. He was a psychologist or neuroscientist. He did most of his research, well, off his tits on LSD, which makes a lot more
Nice.
sense now. But also gave the dolphins LSD.
Oh no.
Apparently, I am trying to fact check this at the moment. This is based on a Reddit comment. Like, I am not sure if he actually gave the dolphins LSD, but then there was also like his research assistant fell in love with a dolphin. This all
As
just
you
seems
do.
very weird. I don't know if this is making me more excited for a new Echo the Dolphin game or not. Like, just like, what is this? What are we doing? Like,
Yeah, you don't know if you're excited or not, but you're talking about it, and that's what's important.
that is important. I think a lot of people might, especially from our generation, who probably remember at least trying to play it. As a child, I had a ROM of it on my PC. Terrible behavior. I think my cousin may have owned it. He just gave me a CD, like, that had loads of games on it when I was a child. And they were all like ripped from somewhere.
Oh yeah.
I assume he owned them though, and it was all perfectly legal.
Totally.
And I will not be telling you my cousin's name, so that's called
Worked at
completely
Sega,
fine.
clearly.
I think there's some PlayStation games there as well. But
That ruined it. I mean, that was... you had covered yourself until then.
He's now doing Fire Sticks.
Yeah. What is that Fire Stick thing where it like gives you access to all the that loads of people had a few years ago, and now no one ever talks about it. I forget,
No.
but yeah, he probably is doing those out. But yeah, I think people will probably check it out, especially if it's at a reasonable price. Like,
Absolutely.
just to see, like, oh, are they going to make it brutally difficult? Is it still going to be super weird with like time travel and aliens
Mhm.
and a weird dolphin? Like,
Oh, you
but
better believe
it does seem like completely out of left field. We've not heard any. We were talking about all the ones they said they were going to revive, so we've heard about, well, like, it's been a while since we've heard anything about like the crazy taxi game that they say they're making, or like the comeback of Jet Set Radio. I don't would people I feel like people would have preferred an update on them as opposed to we are making the Ecco the Dolphin multiverse. Like, how many games are they going to make? What are the other products? Like, I'm confused. Like,
They just go through the Rolodex and they're just like, oh my god, we still have that. Yeah.
yeah,
do
we
it.
still got the rights back because no one wanted the rights to it. Like, so we're gonna make new Echo the Dolphin Lego sets and
Wow,
movies and etc.
New
So yeah,
tabletop RPG. That'd be great.
yeah, Echo the Dolphin tabletop RPG, absolutely. But yeah, I'm just very confused by it. Like, Is it like when you watch the Highguard trailer and you're like, who asked for this? And then you see they're making you Echo the Dolphin, and you're like, no, honestly, who asked for this?
Which
it
one
would
of
be
you
fun
asked
to go
for
into the
this?
Discord.
It's much more
actually.
accusatory. It takes on a tone. Which one of you asked for this?
Which one of you did this? Like, because that game was so hard. Like,
yeah.
Just.
Well, that's it. Like my one memory of it, which I think is one that I think is sort of almost like a collective memory, is struggling to get out of the very first area because you are dropped into the game and it's just like you're in this first pool and it's a 2D side-scrolling game where you're playing as a dolphin, and all you can do is like pick up momentum and try and like move around in the water. But I hadn't tried to like dive out of the water in a particular way. I managed to go up and sort of do fun tricks in the end and go back down. But it took until my friend came over who had the game as well, who no doubt was really shown by his older brother, you know, the original way in which we all learned about how to play video games, like the chain of like who told who, came over and saw me struggling, was like, oh, it's this. And he showed me, and he jumped Echo over this like little wall of rocks into a vast ocean where the rest of the game was. So I was sort of been playing in this like, little demo pool, and then he like showed me the rest of the game. And I was like, whoa, we played it for the rest of the day. And we're like, wow, this is really hard. And I hate it. But there we are, you know. But we'll say though, having looked at the website earlier because of the news, the soundtrack, the song they've got playing on that web page, it's pretty good actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people online who have been talking about it are like, I've never completed Echo the Dolphin, but I used to just swim around as a dolphin, just like
Vibing.
taking in the ambience of Echo the Dolphin. And I'm like, no, that's fair. Like, so maybe that's what they're going for. Like, just like buy your game and just mess about as a dolphin. You don't need to complete it. You didn't complete the first one. The story makes no sense.
Don't worry about it. Just chill out.
It's fine. Just have fun dolphin times. You're all right.
We're all good. You're a dolphin.
Yeah, you're a dolphin who's high on LSD. Just have fun with it. Like
That's it. Yeah.
I've gone onto the website because I had a look at it when I was reading the website article yesterday, and it's a really basic 90s looking website for the game.
Yeah.
And I've clicked through to the Discord, and there are some very excited people for this.
Oh.
So probably a very close-knit community, but there are some people who are already doing fan art and everything. So there are some super keen beans for some.
Good. That's nice. Again, you know, means that somebody obviously would be there at, you know, launch hopefully for it, which would be great. You know, we'll see what sort of projects they're working on.
Well, and you know, we've seen a big rise in people really enjoying super difficult games over the past 10 or so years, especially like I know the first one's not a Metroidvania, it's like just exploration based levels, but you know, just Hollow Knight Silksong, but you're Echo the Dolphin. Like just
is Echo the Dolphin the first Souls-like?
Yeah, why did we spend 10 years being like, oh, is this the Dark Souls of this genre? when Dark Souls is like, saying, is this the Echo the Dolphin of action RPGs? Like
absolutely.
Like,
yep.
We have to give Echo the Dolphin its flowers. Like it's just being brutally difficult. But yeah, I think I'll probably check it out just out of sheer curiosity.
Oh hell yeah. Yeah.
Like and if it like the thing is, yes, it was incredibly weird and incredibly difficult. And I played it when I was like 6 or 7.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not saying I could go back and complete it now. I don't think I'm actually any better at video games. I don't know if I've improved in the 29 years since I played the first Echo the Dolphin. But I like a lot of hard games now. So, you know, it could be really good fun. Like bring back more really, instead of just remaking the same really popular games over and over again, just go into your little bag of stuff that you own all the IP for and just bring back something completely random. Yeah. It could be amazing.
Bring back something weird. We need more weird.
Yeah. I don't want a remaster of like a 4-year-old game. Do more Echo the Dolphins. Like
I like that, yeah. I'm expecting a double vinyl of like a soundtrack with new tracks done.
Yeah.
Maybe some dolphin-shaped gummies, you know. We'll get
what is in the gummies?
Whatever makes the game better.
Just the
Or makes you
collector's
stop
edition
playing,
comes
whichever
with
one-
edibles.
whichever one comes first.
Like,
All right. So those are things we know that are coming out at some point. We assume still,
yeah.
and some people are excited for them. You know, for some of the games anyway.
Some people are excited for Ecco the Dolphin. I've
So,
not
yeah, well,
seen
yeah.
anyone that's excited for Highguard. Like,
We'll do a poll at the end of all
Yeah.
this.
let us
Right.
know in the comments if you're excited for either or two of those games, and if you are, which one. Like,
Oh dear. But then, of course, we want to look for a little bit forward as well, because for our last bit of news, unless anybody wants to drop anything before we finish off, we wanted to talk about the Xbox Developer Direct, which is happening on the 22nd. Is that correct?
yes, this time next week.
This time next week.
Mhm.
Great, a good job us, where we pick the time where everything happens, so that we're not there to then cover it. We'll have to
Well,
do it
it'll
next
be
week.
it's earlier on in the evening. Xbox,
Oh, good.
unlike quite a lot of other showcases, are generally
They're pretty good, actually,
good
time-wise.
for not making the UK folks stay up till 3 a.m. So I think it starts at like 6 o'clock
Oh,
UK
perfect.
time.
Good. Well, then in that case, I think we will be talking about that. I imagine unless something else obviously happens in the meantime. But we know of 3 of the games that are being shown off. We have 2 titles from Playground Games, which are of course Fable and Forza Horizon 6, which of course got showed off at the Game Awards as well last year. Am I correct? No, Tokyo Game Show.
Might have been Tokyo Game
What
Show.
Forza was, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Forza was Tokyo Game Show, wasn't it? Yeah, of course. Being based in Japan, which is very exciting, and a place that sort of has been like rumored to be the next one for a couple of games, if I remember correctly. And then the third title we know of is from Game Freak of Pokemon fame, who are putting out a game called I've got the
Beast of
wrong.
Reincarnation.
Thank you very much. Which looks amazing graphically and entirely different from anything else that Game Freak's ever made before.
Yeah.
It's like someone at Game Freak like opened another door and there was just a lot of money inside. They're like, oh my god, did anyone else know this was here?
There was a door that said Microsoft on it. Like,
Yeah.
like
Just fell on the other side with a big bag of money.
it would just there you go. Like,
But yeah, so again, we know of 3 titles, but what is the sort of buzz that's going on right now? And of course, as we have said at the beginning of this, we don't deal in rumors, so we're not going to be talking about what other people are talking about. We're going to have a bit of fun though and speculate over whether or not, or what the supposed 4th secret game will be, because for the last 3 years, since Xbox started doing the developer directs, starting back in 2023, they have had at least one game that has been a surprise, starting with the shadow drop of Hi-Fi Rush in 2023. Then we had Visions of Mana from Square Enix in 2024, of course, announcing that at the Developer Direct. And then last year, we had the double, a reveal of Ninja Gaiden 4, and then the shadow drop and reveal of Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. So we thought it'd be a bit of fun to think about what could be there, given the games that we've been talking about, what the industry have been talking about as far as, well, we know what Xbox got other things. So quite easily, you could just say like, oh, it's going to be Gears of War Day. Oh, it's going to be Halo Campaign Evolved Remaster, whatever that is they're calling it, the new one. Maybe it's a smaller project from Xbox Studio, or maybe, as we've seen with games like Visions of Mana, could be a third-party one, not even one that they're actually publishing like that. That was Square Enix's own game. They clearly just said like, hey, do you want to show it off, announce it at our show? It will help us out. Whilst Ninja Gaiden, they were actually helping with the funding and publishing of those games. So a bit different there. So, do we see Ecco the Dolphin? No.
shadow drop Ecco the Dolphin. Do it.
Hey, look,
Do it.
big move, baller move. You know what I mean? Like, pretty big, and it's another Sega game. So again,
Yeah.
Sega showing up, being like, "Hey, do you remember what we used to be like? Your Xbox and us. We had a good relationship. Let's make this
Shadow
happen."
drop Ecco the Dolphin and do the trailer for the Ecco the Dolphin movie all in one
Oh.
swoop. Like,
Voiced by Chris Pratt.
no.
Timothy Chalamet. Sorry, he's the flavor of that, isn't he? He's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, let's have a bit of fun then before we obviously close out the show. Mark, we didn't hear from you much about Ecco the Dolphin, so I'll let you have first go. What are some of your predictions, if you've got any?
Well, let's keep it on the remake kind of train. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake. And I think we were talking about this last night, guys, but it just seems to be inevitable that that's about to appear. There's loads of web listings appearing on Ubisoft websites. I mean, that game was originally meant to be out 5 years ago. It had a release date in January 2021, which is just wild. And then
So mad.
5 years later, we still haven't seen it. I loved that game, and it was one of the first PS2 games I played. And I remember at the time, the time reversing mechanic and wall running, that was like, just that going from PS1 to that was pretty remarkable at the time. It was really, really cool. And it does seem that it is inevitable. Ubisoft previously said it was getting an earnings call. It was going to be within that kind of this quarter. So it's got to get a release date imminently, really. Ubisoft Plus has been part of Game Pass since that.
Oh, lost you.
You've dropped off.
I know.
Can you hear
Don't
me?
worry.
Can you hear me?
You're fine.
I only missed a second, so don't worry. Keep going.
Cool. So the Ubisoft Plus joined Game Pass not too long ago. So, you could imagine that it could certainly become part of that. But it's a big game, and people are looking forward to that. And I mean, it was originally meant to be an Xbox One game. I'm pretty certain now it'll be at least Xbox Series S. Whether they stick with the old port, who knows? But yeah, it's one people want. We know it's kind of imminent, and yeah, I mean, it seems a really suitable opportunity. And we know that Ubisoft are in Microsoft's pocket, so why not? And I really hope we do see it, because I'm really bloody looking forward to it. So yeah. I think that's probably my first thought of what it could be.
Like when we were talking about it, like I floated that idea, being like, I think this is the spicy one. I don't know if it's going to be it, but just given the buzz. But yeah, talking about it with everybody, like I agree with you, Mark. I think it's actually a pretty solid prediction that we could see the Prince of Persia there. I think it'd be great if it was. I think it'd be a really cool one to pull out there at the show, and you wouldn't have to do something to follow up Ninja Gaiden with like you don't release announce 2 games there. You could just do like Prince of Persia: Sands of Time release date, day 1 Game Pass, sort of thing. Like that there is enough, I think, to kind of solidify like a well done, this is a cool shadow drop. Okay, or not shadow drop, sorry, this is a cool announcement. Sure, it's a game we know about, but you're giving us the details that we want. It's soon, it's a day 1 Game Pass saying, or it's on the Uplay subscription, which is part of Game Pass anyway. However they want to deliver it, I could see that being the way to handle it. Definitely, that'd be pretty cool. When I was thinking about other ones, I was thinking about the other sort of Xbox studios in particular, because there are still other ones we haven't heard from, and those ones we suspect will have maybe something this year. The one I was thinking of, and I know Adam probably would have mentioned it if you had been here, because I know it's one of the ones he's most sort of excited for, is Clockwork Revolution from In Exile. We got a very lengthy trailer from them. Again, Gamescom last year, or were they on the last one? I can't remember. They may have been on the last Developer Direct, if I remember correctly.
The summer showcase with what was like a really decent looking trailer. And it was rather expletive as well, and that's rare these days. So yeah, it's all about that. Someone like
really cool.
Mr. Bellend or something like that. It was
right, yeah. Oh yeah, someone did call someone a Bellend. I know, I remember it now. Like, I was like, did I watch this? And then I was like, oh no way, I remember.
Does look fun. Looks really cool. Again, another sort of immersive sim looking game, which looks great. We've got a couple of those on the horizon still, with like Judas as well. Bioshock 4 is still out there. Maybe we'll see. Oh, I mean, hey, maybe one of those. That'd be kind of fun. I know we haven't heard much from either of those, but even just something would be amazing. But I think those are less likely than a Clockwork Revolution sighting. What about you, V? Any games stand out to you?
I kind of want to start saying that like Judas doesn't exist, but purely because when I say that games are more likely to come out sooner. Like, so we talk about Silk Song and say it
Reverse
doesn't exist.
psychology. I like it.
Yeah, it's like, the universe is out there and it wants to spite me specifically, which is fine if it means that we can get like fun new games. like I'm here, I'm okay for it. But it'd be interesting to see whether or not it's first or third party.
Hmm.
From a first party perspective, it could be something really small and weird, like a Pentiment sort of a situation, being like,
Mhm.
oh, someone's been working on this as a little passion project. I loved Pentiment, by the way, and you should play it if you haven't. It's a very, very fun game. But something like that, or I think that it could be the Halo campaign remastered.
Yeah.
Because we've heard some bits about it, but not a huge amount. But it's sort of been rumored that they've been working on this Unreal Engine Halo game for a good while,
Mhm.
and then it was confirmed it's the campaign remaster. They're adding new levels to it. Obviously, it's coming to PlayStation, which is very exciting.
Mhm.
Because it's Halo, and I'm just excited for lots of more people to play Halo because I
Yeah.
love Halo. It's like, yes, you should play Halo. But yeah, it seems like the perfect time for it. Just get everyone very excited for more Halo going
Yeah.
into the rest of the year. It is, well, it's their biggest flagship franchise, I would say. Even though some people weren't massive fans of Infinite, I thought Infinite was very good fun. I particularly like the Husky raid maps on multiplayer, and Halo Infinite. They're so fun, especially the ones where it's only like really silly weapons. So it's you're like just two people, like two sets of people, just like a really short corridor, and everyone just has a gravity hammer. It's like
Nice.
the most fun you will have in a half an hour period. Like but yeah, I think could be fun to get the Halo campaign
Hmm.
remaster out there. I would certainly be very excited. I would be immediately downloading and playing if that was shadow dropped at the developer direct next week.
Yeah, definitely. I think that would be a big one.
Mm.
I think it definitely makes sense. Uh, Obviously, there's every chance as well that they could then use that as the opportunity to do one of their longer follow-up shows afterwards for it as well,
Mhm.
possibly. Because they did that, I think, for uh, or not one of the like secret games, but I think they did it for one of the other games when they were doing one of the developer directs, if I remember correctly, where there was like a thing you could watch. It was for like Avowed, I think they did it for, maybe, where Avowed was in the developer direct, but then they said there was going to be something else afterwards from
Yeah, they
Obsidian.
did like a big
Yeah, so
interview with the
could be
devs
the
and
sort of
stuff.
thing
Yeah.
where they could then be like, and now we're going to go to Halo Studios and they're going to talk about more in depth about it and things like that. So that could be a cool way for them to do that, maybe. But yeah, again, we know that they've got other things. We've actually heard of other games being cancelled over at Xbox as well, like Project Mara at Ninja Theory. So that's off the table now. State of Decay 3 is still in the works. We haven't heard
Yeah.
anything from them in a very long time. Again, rumblings, as you said, mentioning games like Pentiment, smaller game ideas, rumors are floating around as well of things like there was a prototype game, Double Fine, we're working on called Kiln, which has been brought up here and there.
Mhm.
Again, obviously, it could be absolutely anything. Could be something you don't even know exists, which is always fun, as it has been with all of the previous ones. So we're
Yeah.
all just taking shots in the dark here. None of this is based on anything whatsoever, other than us reading the tea leaves. So yeah, take this all with a pinch of salt. But yeah, and
Something
that's
completely new that we've not heard of would be very fun. Like
yeah,
the shadow drop of Hi-Fi Rush was super exciting,
yes,
and also that was such a good game.
yeah,
So if they did something similar to that, and then supported the studio afterwards, but like something similar to that, which is just a really really fun game that was like a passion project for the studio,
mm,
and just in a completely different genre than what people necessarily would expect from Xbox, and was just a like, oh, obviously it's just dropped on Game Pass,
mm,
it'll probably be specifically Game Pass Ultimate, so you're gonna have to resubscribe to Ultimate. But yeah, I think that would be the most exciting thing if it was something brand new from a beloved developer there.
It's the 25th year of Xbox this year, so I think one thing I'd love to see, and I think they could maybe look back in their kind of their locker of old titles to reinvigorate for this year. One would be really cool, and I think would really work as being an Xbox Game Pass game is a new Fusion Frenzy.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
that is
Yeah,
like such a
that'd be fun.
dormant franchise, and it's been away for so long, and very synonymous with early Xbox. And then there was Fusion Frenzy 2 on 360, perhaps a bit less fun by people, but those kind of party games now are really having a moment. And with Game Pass, people with shared libraries, and especially with crossplay, I think something like that could really come out and do rather well. And it seems that kind of B tier game that would come at a showcase and could be shadow dropped and still could gain a bit of a following and an audience, and something could get new modes, new levels throughout the year, but something like that. And I just think that kind of taps into that 25th anniversary nostalgia, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see something like that. But yeah, that would be really cool.
I didn't even think about the 25th anniversary nostalgia angle to again do what they're doing with Ecco the Dolphin, rummage around in the back catalogue and be like, what about this? Because that would be great. That would be very
cool.
fun.
I mean, Sega was there at the beginning of Xbox, so was there another Sega title maybe that was on Xbox launch? That could be in line for another remaster or something like that. I don't know. I'm trying to think.
I'm struggling to think.
Don't remember exactly what the launch lineup for the original Xbox was. I only got 360, I'm afraid.
Was Condemned Sega?
That was.
Oh, it was Monolith, wasn't it?
Yeah.
If we've seen a remake of that, because they recently pulled the original, that would have been amazing. But now I'm getting a bit too carried away.
Yeah.
Get another Dead or Alive. Dead or Alive 3 was a launch title.
Oh, for the original. Well, yeah, but Dead or Alive 4 came out short. I don't know if it was fully in the launch titles of the Xbox 360, but if it wasn't, it was super, super close to the start of the. Because I got it, it was one of the first games I got for my Xbox 360. I'd love another Dead or Alive game. Those games are great.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Very fun.
You got the 4 games that were at launch for Halo, Project Gotham Racing, Dead or Alive 3, and Oddworld Munch's Odyssey. I don't think Rockstar are going to be busy, because they did Project Gotham Racing, didn't they? Or they Midnight Club?
They're Midnight Club. Project Gotham Racing was a different studio.
That was Bizarre Creations.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But has been published in the past by Sega, apparently. Yeah, and it does. On this article that I am looking at, which I again have not fully fact checked, but for the North American launch, Fusion Frenzy was a launch title.
That would be cool, man. Yeah.
That would be very cool to see something.
Big
just completely, just completely. No one is expecting that, but you can play the original through Game Pass.
Oh yeah,
the original Xbox version.
It's still there
through Game Pass, so that would be fun. That would be very fun. Oh my god, maybe they'll bring back Amped, Mark. Maybe we'll get a new Amped.
Don't do it.
They'll bring up your articles again. I have to go back and read Mark's 25th anniversary articles. I'll make sure they're all dropped down below in the description. So go check those out.
Apparently, Amped Freestyle Snowboarding was a European launch title for the original Xbox. Don't be a coward, Xbox. Bring back Amped.
There we go. Bring back Amped.
Bring back Amped. And for the European launch, there was also Jet Set Radio Future. So if we're on the Sega train,
are we going to see the Jet Set Radio?
Just shadow drop a new Jet Set Radio. Everyone. It was
one of the games they talked about. Maybe it could be Jet Set Radios there.
Yeah.
Who knows? But yeah. Unless anybody's got any other predictions, let's close out the show with what we are looking forward to. Myself personally, I'm looking forward to playing a few games I've not yet got round to just yet. Not quite backlog, they've just come out, like Cassette Boy, that is what I'm very much looking forward to diving into. The game I'm looking forward to most that's coming out is a game called Mio, Memories in Orbit, a really beautiful looking Metroidvania where you are a little android that's woken up. You are the titular Mio. You wake up on this spaceship called the Vessel that is floating aimlessly in space, and it's up to you to try and retrieve your memories and figure out what has happened here, because all the AI sort of custodians have stopped working, the place is falling apart, and a beautiful looking art style, heavily inspired by things like comic books and anime. And yeah, really, really excited for that. Looks really cool. Comes out on the 20th of January, so only a few days from now. That is what I'm most looking forward to. And I will say, just because we didn't get round to doing our Game of the Year stuff and all the rest of it, we were all very tired and still quite busy over the Christmas period. I'm going to say that my thing I'm excited for this year, because we know it's coming out this year, because it even got dated at the Game Awards, is Control Resonant. I am so excited for Control Resonant. That is absolutely my most anticipated game of this year. I hope it comes out this year. And if it's anything like Control, which is one of my favorite games of all time, that you are playing as Dylan Faden and have a melee weapon called the Aberrant, and it just looks tasty. It just looks so good. Yeah, very excited for that. Anyway, Mark, what are you looking forward to?
I've probably mentioned this loads of end of episodes, but and I'm doing everything I possibly can to avoid the showcase spoilers from this evening, is Resi Requiem. So I said to you guys, I don't want to be on the podcast if you want to discuss the showcase, because I don't want to see anything now. And to be honest, you know, when you just get to a point you've seen enough, you just don't really need to see any more.
Definitely.
I'm sold on the game. It's
I saw enough 3 trailers ago.
Yeah, and I can't. I mean, the game's coming with first and third person perspectives, and I just want to see how a Leon roundhouse kick looks in first person. I need to see that. So
That's absolutely
yeah, I
fair.
Yeah,
can't wait for that at the end of next month. And yeah, and then it's kind of, you know, March is really where the year starts to ramp up, and a new Life is Strange is coming. So this year just got somehow even better. So it's going to be a pretty stonking year for games, and I guess we'll have release dates for Forza and Fable by the time we speak next week as well. So crazy.
Yeah.
seems like it. Yeah, yep. It's gonna be filling out, definitely. It's already started. But yeah, B, what are you looking forward to?
Quite a lot of stuff in January, actually. I'm really looking forward to Cairn. I've been looking forward to that for a good while. I played the demo. I think we covered it on the demo disc as well. And it was very, very good. Climbing game. Definitely not anything like Peak, if you're going into it thinking about that. It's very technical and quite difficult, but it's really, really satisfying and a really fun game. And I'm also looking forward to a little indie game coming out called The Perfect Pencil towards the end of the month. It's like a little action platformer, and just all of the artwork and the vibes of it are just like really weird. And I'm like, oh yeah, that looks absolutely my jam. Like it was just an incredibly strange little game that I'm really looking forward to. And then obviously towards the end, right at the end of the month, 30th of January, second last day of the month, Anime Souls Code Vein 2 comes out, and I'm super excited for some Code Vein 2 because I really enjoyed the first one. Always up for trying new Souls likes, but I really like the sort of blood code mechanics and stuff we had in the first one, so I'm very excited for that. But yeah, I agree that this year's just going to be a very good year for games. So many little indie titles, especially stuff that we saw like at London Games Fest last year at New Game Plus. A lot of them seem to have release dates this year. I mean, we covered Cassette Boy at that, and that's obviously just come out. There's a game that is on our most anticipated games of the year list that I wrote about called Bloodletter, that was there that I loved, and then we covered the demo for Demo Disc when it came out in October. And there is not a release date yet, but as soon as there's a release date, I'm going to be all over Blue Sky talking about it because it's such an interesting concept of a deck builder, and it's just a really, really, really good game. But yeah, it's going to be, once again, a very, very good year for games, and my backlog will probably get larger,
Indeed.
unfortunately, because Steam keeps putting things on sale.
Damn you, Steam. How dare you do this to us? But yeah, a lot of amazing looking games. We're getting a lot more release dates now as well. They've already started coming in. Um, and yeah, we've got plenty of stuff to cover, no doubt, coming up. And we already have started. So yeah, if you want to pop over to the site, look at some of our more recent stuff. We've actually already done two sort of interview / Q&As with Dara reaching out to the creative director of Big Hops. They actually reviewed it, the game, whilst I was covering guides. So please go and check out our review as well. But they managed to get a interview with the creative director of the game, Chris Wade, which is really interesting if you want to look into the game's development and things like its Kickstarter and things of that nature. And then I reached out to the creative director of a game called Ascent of the Last Colossus. Daniel Ferguson is the creative director's name, because I just saw it on Steam, a really interesting looking kind of adventure game where you are sent to free the Last Colossus from being used as a power source by a dying civilization. And it's all about, climbing up things, and, you've got a sword, but your character looks something of like Jim Henson's Muppet, which is kind of interesting. So it's got this really sort of serious tone to it, but the visuals and then your character design are quite silly. So there's an interesting dichotomy there, I feel, and I spoke to them about that. And yeah, you can learn all about that and sort of a few more details about this game early in development there if you're interested. Alongside our article covering the 35 games to watch for in 2026. We've got our the last issue of Demo Disc for this sort of first year of it. So it's the sort of 12th issue. So Demo Disc has run for full 12 months non-stop. We've covered over 180 games in that time. I'm incredibly proud of the work we've done with that series, and I really love it if you guys would check it out. It's how we highlight a bunch of demos every month for people to check out, kind of like how the demo discs of yore used to work with magazines, and you could take those home and play them and get excited about games coming out and things like that. And we wanted to try and relive that a little bit in the way we can, as well as highlight games we're excited for, especially indies. And then, yeah, we've got a couple of reviews already up. We've got the Hungry Horrors Early Access review, just went up today. We also had Nom Nom Cozy Forest Cafe review, which was earlier in the week. Kajora, Code Violet as well. And Cats Around Us Giant Cat review, another one of Mark's pieces of work there.
Not the greatest cat.
Mark loves a cat game.
I do love a cat game. I do not love Giant Cat.
We have Big Hops, as I said, as well, and Death Howl, which was your review, Lady V, which I know was maybe from like a week or two ago.
Yeah, that was towards the start of the month.
Yeah.
Just talking about Big Hops, if you're really eagle-eyed and you want to sit through the entire credits, I was a Kickstarter backer, so you can see my name in the credits of Big Hops.
Hey. Well, go look for that, everybody. That's your homework.
Screenshot it, send it to me in the Discord, and I'll gift someone a copy of the game or something.
Wow, look at that. Call to action, everyone. So yeah, and speaking of the Discord, yeah, if you come and join, then you can obviously drop that screenshot in, but also you can join in with our community game of the month, which right now is Terminator 2D No Fate. So you come along and play that with the rest of us. We all anybody who's interested, we vote on each month. Our community manager Frey sets it up. Everybody votes, and then we all, or as many of us, want to play the game of the month so we can chat about it. And quite a few people have already played it, I believe. Both of you have played it?
I've not finished it, but Mark reviewed it for the site, so we can pop the review in as well.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, really good game. Super short. So
yeah,
there's 3 endings, and you can do them all probably within 2.5 hours. So it's a super short game. But there's some replayability in there, and honestly, the pixel art is some of the greatest I've seen in years. And if you're a T2 fan, this is the one. It captures everything about T2, and it's one of the best films ever made. And they clearly love the film, how they've made this game. So yeah, the motorbike chase, the bar fight, it's all in there. So yeah, really good game. Just probably needed to be at least half longer, I think. But yeah, definitely worth checking out.
Yeah,
I've got
it
some
does
good
look
guides
like
on
a
the
great
website
experience.
as well. So please do check out guides if you.
Yeah, always working on our guides. We've been doing a lot of those recently as well. So yeah, please go check those out. A lot of links below, and then you'll find plenty more if you just go for a little look around our site. But yeah, I think that's going to finish us for today, everybody. Thank you so much, you two, for joining me. It's good to be back. Shake the rust off. And we'll get back into the swing of things. We're doing this hopefully as a weekly show, and who knows what else we've got going on. We're doing a lot for the YouTube in the background right now. We're working towards things, trying to get production values up, but also look at other projects. Star, as we said, going off and going into the workshop to do their thing. So we've got that to look forward to as well. But yeah, otherwise, thank you so much, everybody. Leave a like if you've enjoyed today's episode. Leave a comment below if you'd like to share your thoughts on today's episode, if you've got any feedback or any questions. And of course, if you'd like to see more content, click the subscribe button for more stuff from us here on the Gamer Social Club. Of course, go visit the site, gamersocialclub.ca. All of this down below, as always. So yeah, I think that's everything. So yeah, thank you very much, everyone. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, play some great games, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.